The consistent greediness of the video game industry and the need to milk every single thing for every last drop, every last cent that it is worth, that's been something that we've talked about on and off on this channel over the course of its history, and today is no different because we are taking a look at Rockstar Games. Now, I wish that I had more positive to say about GTA 5's treatment. I wish I had more positive to say about the way Rockstar has gone. At one point, this was probably in my top 3 favorite video game development companies ever. You know, you had things like Bully, GTA 4, the earlier GTAs, obviously 5, Red Dead Redemption 2 now. And the thing is, their single-player games are still fantastic, so I'm not taking a shot at them for that. But this is just another stepping stone for them in a pattern of behavior, as GTA 5 is introducing a paid online subscription service. So now not only do you pay for the disc, not only do you likely pay for a shark card here or there because the online economy has been purposely set up in order to try and get you to do that. That is just a very known thing among the community. But now also they want you to pay $5.99 US, well, I guess I should say US dollars, $5.99 per month. So the whole thing with this is that it is cheap for a subscription service, I suppose, but what you get out of it is actually really not great. At least for the first month. They give you only a month at a time, the rewards. I guess they're going to vary from month to month because some of them are going to be very specific, but things like $500,000 automatically put in your account. You might think, wow, I'm poor in real life. $500,000 is great. I could live off of that for years. Yeah, that's a drop in the bucket in GTA. That is absolutely nothing. There are exploitive ways to get millions of dollars very, very quickly in this game. And I'm not even saying that in a negative way. I'm saying like players have smartly discovered ways around the scummy economy in order to use different things in the game to get money quickly. This is something that, and I'm not even fully up to date in terms of certain things in GTA Online because I just play it casually. But talking to other players, this is something people said, dude, you can make like $1 million in less than an hour doing certain things now. Now, for me, I'm not the best at the heists. I suppose I'm an update behind because I didn't do the last heist at all. I didn't really do any of the stuff for it. But one of the reasons that I kind of got pushed away from this game was just the constant grind. Now, I have nothing against games making their money. I'm going to be honest with you here. This game being re-released over and over and over and over, I don't care. I know everybody else and their mother is mad about that. Like, why is it on the PS3, then it's on the PS4, now it's on the PS5 and the Series X. It just keeps getting re-released. I'm actually fine with that. I don't really care. Like if you want to keep making a good game available to more and more players on new generations of hardware and improve it in some discernible way, more power to you. That's cool. I feel the same way about Skyrim. Just handle it well, please. That was my issue with Skyrim. But when you go into actually just milking it more and more in a game that is already set up on purpose to get, thousands of people a day paying for microtransactions, and now you're adding in a membership, it just gets a little ridiculous. Now, I know that this might be the pot calling the kettle black a little bit because I do play a game like Fallout 76 because I'm a big fan of Fallout, and they are very guilty of the same type of thing. But I will say at least what you get in that game for your subscription, it drastically alters the experience of the game. Now, I'm not going to get into the very, very specifics of it because this would be a Fallout 76 video, but things like removing the cap limit on your junk, which you use to create settlements, create weapons, create all this stuff. So instead of having a server limitation to what you are collecting for your junk that you break down and make stuff, you have an unlimited box to do whatever you want with that type of item for the Fallout 76 membership, Fallout First. Or even another example of that is, hey, you don't like people? I don't like people that much, being serious. Here's a private server. Have fun. You don't have to deal with anybody. Those kind of things, even though they frustrated players because people wanted to play the game on their own anyways, at a lot of times, they did alter the game They actually added something that people might find a purpose to pay for. The thing with this GTA one is that you are already paying out your ass for these microtransactions, probably. And if you're not, which good for you, you're probably grinding the game in order to actually get enough money to do anything, or you're so casual that none of this matters to you, which is not an insult because I'd probably fall under that one. There is also a whole thing where they add in certain items. Like, for example, they do little updates from Los Santos tuners without you actually having to pay for it. They waive certain car meet membership fees so that you don't have to pay different things during event periods. You get to upgrade your yacht to the Aquarius Super Yacht at no additional cost, although you already had to get a yacht in the first place. So it kind of goes on and on, giving you like a t-shirt, some double XP opportunities and emblems and stuff like that. But the thing is, this is just another drop in the bucket for Rockstar. This is just another way to milk the game. And one of my issues with this, other than the fact that it doesn't come with anything, at least in the first month, that matters at all. So spend your money the way you want. I'm not judging you for spending your money. If this is your primary game and you love it, by all means, do whatever you want. Who am I to judge you? But I just think it's ridiculous that Rockstar needs this still, with everything that they've done. If you look at the history of their game development, you have a game like Bully that came out complete, and recently they actually talked about how they completely scrapped and got rid of plans for a sequel, something that a lot of fans have been asking for years. And Rockstar prints money. They could certainly afford to make a sequel. Even at a loss, it would not matter at all, just to expand their video game portfolio of the stuff that they make. Even that, and expand their universe, because we've seen these connected universe things between Red Dead and GTA and Bully, but they don't want to do anything with Bully anymore. But that game came out done. Then you have something like GTA 4, an experience that launched complete, but later on it got things like the Ballad of Gay Tony and other DLC expansions that actually added into the single player and expanded the world and made it feel more alive and large to players. There's a reason why people still make videos comparing GTA 4 to 5 with things like 5 did this better, but 4 did these two things better. There's a reason people are still talking about that in 2022. It's because that game had staying power without all this microtransaction garbage. When it added onto itself, it was to enhance and expand the game itself. Meanwhile, GTA 5 has consistently ignored its single player ever since launch. Yeah, it gets some updates here and there when they actually give you a re-release, when they actually enhance the game. But other than that, they mainly care about actually just milking the online microtransactions and milking things like this membership fee. You even see the real true colors of Rockstar when you look at something like Red Dead Redemption 2. Red Dead Redemption 1 launched complete. It did have an online component, yes, that no one really cared that much about. It was kind of like a proto-GTA Online, sort of, but one that no one was super into. But the thing with that game is that it then later got another DLC expansion to expand the story, kind of an alternate universe thing with Undead Nightmare that people really connected with and loved. So the idea going into 5 was always, well, I can't wait to see what they add on to the single player. And online was supposed to be fun, but a lot of people saw it as like, this will be really fun, but, I hope they keep adding the single player. No, they don't. They don't care. Red Dead 2 is kind of the same way. There's really no sign of them adding much to single player right now. And the online for that game is a mess. Like, they spend more attention and care more about GTA Online because it prints money than they care about fixing Red Dead Redemption 2 online. People barely hear or get to see any changes on Red Dead Redemption Online. It just doesn't matter. It's seen as an afterthought to the company. They thought when they released it that it would be a big thing, and as soon as it wasn't, pull the plug, gone. Don't care anymore. That is what they're up to here. And I'm really frustrated and tired of it because it's not just Rockstar. This is something that actually The Verge pointed out, that more and more games are adding these subscription services. Now, if you want to be something like World of Warcraft, if you want to be something like RuneScape, a computer-based game where the membership essentially funds that game, I actually don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is when games like that start introducing tons of microtransactions on top of it, which makes me wonder what the point is of the membership anymore, Or the other way around, when games like this that already have tons of microtransactions in them that are funding the game and more every single day. I mean, just look at the revenue and earning reports at this company. What bothers me is when games do both, pick a side. Do you want your subscription fee to pay for this game, to pay for its maintenance, and to pay for free updates or new things coming in? Cool. Then do that. Do you want your game to be complete, and I say that with quotation marks, but you have little microtransactions here and there? I've seen it before. I'm not surprised. You're going to do that anyway. But when you start doing both, it's just like, what are we doing here? Fortnite, Fallout, this game, it just keeps adding up where there's more and more subscription services that players have to get if they want to keep up with any of these games. And also a lot of the times these seasonal events and their, the periods around them of time line up very, very similarly, where like if you want to play this season of Call of Duty Warzone, it's going to be very hard to keep up with this season of what's going on in Fortnite. It's going to be very hard to keep up with this season of what's going on in something like Fallout. They all want you to just play their game and spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on just their game like it's a money printing platform. Compare that to something like Elden Ring. I have my issues with Elden Ring on certain stuff, but compare it to something like that where you get a complete experience. Players are playing this game for over 100 hours on a playthrough, just exploring and having fun and doing crazy shit. And they're not paying a dime. They just paid the entry fee. They paid the $60 or $70 or whatever they paid to get the game in their region. Admittedly more in some. Sorry, Australia. But it's night and day. And I'm very tired of seeing this stuff. It's just so lazy and so greedy. It's not going to end. It's just going to get worse. So it's one of those things where I even consider not talking about it because it almost hits a point of like, what's the point of talking about this when they're just going to keep doing it? But I don't understand how entertainment has been allowed to be milked so much that it's becoming unaffordable to people. If you want to compete, if you want to have a similar experience to someone else. And GTA has always had that problem where if you are rich in real life, your experience in that game is going to be vastly different than some, 16-year-old kid who's just trying to play the game and have a good time. I know that life isn't fair. I know that that's how things work in the real world, but gaming was supposed to kind of be an escape. It was supposed to be a place where you could be someone new, where you could experience a different sort of life and have fun and be on a level playing field with other people, no matter who you were. And the further and further we go down the line with stuff like this, the more it is the opposite of that. I'm interested to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you think about this kind of stuff? What do you think about the whole membership stuff? I get that it's becoming common for and it has been for MMORPGs forever, but the understanding was always that those memberships fund the game. Now we're hitting a point where it's like just expected plus, thousands of microtransactions on top. I don't know, man. Just makes me want to play old games more, I guess. Let me know what you think. Have a fantastic day. Please be sure to subscribe if you enjoyed this. Leave a like as well. As always, everyone, stay shui.